Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. I'm Rathnakumar, I'm a blogger, tech entrepreneur, product and data guy. I was thinking about doing something different this year. I was thinking about what is that I could really build my contents around, and then I thought probably building out as a series of items under a topic would be a great way to explore the space. And when I was thinking about what is the topic that I would be interested in presenting and that would be of great help to the audience, I was thinking on minimalism, entrepreneurship and things like that. But then I stumbled upon product management because that is one thing a lot of people reach out to me for. Go to my LinkedIn. I think 90% of my LinkedIn is all about asking questions around what is product management or getting mentored or getting referred somewhere. So I thought that'd be a best place to start because there's always an ambiguity around what a product management is all about. So in this series, we're going to look at the most basic stuff of what is product management to the throughout the whole journey of becoming one, how you could start, what are the things you might have to know, what are the things you might have to practice, and how to end up being a product manager. And by the end of the journey, I'll also see if I could bring some of the best brains I know around product management who could give out their understanding about product management and what they look for in a product manager as well. Let's jump onto this topic straight away. So the first topic we want to look at in this series is what is product management or who's a product manager. To start with, the first myth to be broken: a product manager is not a manager. You don't manage people at all. It's funny that way, but it's designed that way as well. You don't manage people, you work along with people. That is exactly what product management is. You don't get to fire anybody. I think the reason it is designed that way because your work is to be able to work around differences with developers, with designers, with marketing, with sales, with customer success, with customers. So there's a lot of things that you have to do in coherence or in line with others' expectation. It is better not to be managing them because they won't be transparent with you. If, let's say, somebody's reporting to me, I don't think they're going to disagree with me in any of the decisions that I'm taking. So that's the reason it is designed that way. But in terms of roles and responsibilities, what does a product manager really does? A product manager is somebody who makes sure a product is successful. If I am a product manager to a specific product, my work is to make sure the product is successful. If anything that goes wrong with the product, that is my responsibility from there on. And on the flip side, what does a product manager really do? Do they even do anything? I think a product manager is somebody, like I said, who is going to work with designers, who is going to work with engineers, who is going to work with marketing and sales. His job is to be able to align all these dots on the straight line towards a product roadmap. So that is exactly what a product manager does. What makes a good product manager? I think that's a very sort of vague question to ask. A product manager is somebody who has to be good in presenting, who is a good analyst, who is a good listener, who is a good writer. So there's multiple hats that a product manager really wears on a daily basis for them to be able to deliver what is expected out of them. So cutting it simple, I think the image on the top would be able to tell you what a product manager role is all about, and that's exactly what he does on a daily basis. Like I said, his job is to be able to align the company's vision and get the job done by different teams focused towards a single criteria or a single roadmap or a specific set of timeline that is associated with those deliverables. That is all what a product manager does. Let's look into the next topic on what a product is all about, and stay tuned for the series. I'll make sure that I upload enough and more videos around product management and make through this journey of becoming a product manager for anybody simple and easy. Thank you. Have a good day. Hi everyone. Welcome to today's video. I hope the first video in the series was really helpful to understand what product management is all about. I think the second one, I'm going to speak about what is a product. I know it sounds funny when I say what is a product, but a product could be anything, right from my t-shirt to my the board right in front of me, the camera, the browser, anything that you see around or anything that you could use around are a product by itself. So a product manager, like I said, is somebody who manages those products. But a product manager could be very specific or very extremely different based on which industry you are, which technology you are, which domain you are, which sort of expertise is yours. So based on that, the product manager or day-to-day of a product manager could completely vary, and how they get segmented as well. Think about it. Facebook has tons and tons of product managers. It is not product specific at all. It is very much feature specific. There, a product manager doesn't own the whole product, but he owns a very specific for in a specific feature, or a specific feature is actually owned by a larger team called a product team, and a product manager owns a very specific teeny tiny bit of that specific feature. Because it's a larger organization, there's a lot of things to work around with. So the way a specific day-to-day of a product manager or responsibilities of a product manager would vary completely on such a larger ecosystem. But let's say when you go to a startup or a smaller mid-sized enterprise, a product manager would mean completely different, where somebody could really own the whole feature altogether himself, or somebody could actually own the whole team altogether. So it completely depends on the size of those products. But at the same time, there are product managers who need not be product specific at all or feature specific at all, who would be very platform specific or technology specific. Look around it. There could be product managers who work only on AI. There could be a product manager who works only on Android or iOS, or there could be product manager who works only on the cloud ecosystem or data science and AI. So that is another way of looking at product management as well, where you're not domains, you're not feature specific, you're domain specific or platform specific. So that's another way to split it across. So I think product management or a product manager as such could be looked at in terms of a matrix. So based on the type of company you are in, size of company, and the domain in which they work, a product manager's life cycle within the company would be entirely different. And I think it's fair for everybody to understand, being a product manager doesn't mean every product manager does the same sort of work. Unlike other roles, product management is slightly different in terms of how they perceive and how their day-to-day could look like. So I hope this sort of clarifies any doubt around what a product is all about, and how a product manager based on the product would sort of differentiate his own day-to-day work would be. In the next video, we will see who are the different type of product managers. Stay tuned. Hi everyone, welcome to the next video. I think over the last couple of videos, we definitely saw what is product management and what is a product. I think today we will see what are the different type of product managers available. Fundamentally, there are three types of product managers. One is an internal product manager. The second one is a customer product manager. Third one is a B2B sort of SaaS product managers. Those are fundamentally the three different types of product managers we could differentiate at a macro level. So when we start with what an internal product manager or a consumer product manager or a business-to-business sort of product manager, what is the principal difference between all the three of them is the stakeholders that they work with. Every single product manager has different sort of stakeholders, different sort of day-to-day, they have purely on the audience or the stakeholder that they work with. That's the jazz term that I had used in the used in this video. But a stakeholder is somebody whom they are serving. Let's put it as simple as that. So going back to the basics and said, who are the three product managers, what they do. An internal product manager are somebody who works on tools very specific to the company. It could be logistics related. It could be as simple as, let's say you have some issue with one of the tools that you use internally and you want to reset the password. You reach out to the tech team and they reset that for you. So that is one of the teams. That is one of those internal product managers who's managing and maintaining those sort of tools. These sort of product managers are very much sort of the stakeholders are within the company. The stakeholders are your day-to-day users. It could be your analyst. It could be anybody who is within the system who has some sort of queries. But the importance of being an internal product manager is the fact that you work with your internal teams on a daily basis. So you tend to have a lot more understanding about what are the different things that is happening internally within the company. The second one is the consumer product manager. I'm for an example as a consumer product manager. I go and serve the clients who is outside my company. Most it could be of the three. This is one of the most challenging product management, because your interaction is often only with external audience. So you tend to work a lot more with customers. You tend to work a lot more with the consumers. You tend to work a lot more with the sales and marketing team. Understand their needs. You are somebody who there'll be somebody who's doing A/B testing. Client resonance, working on a certain KPI for the clients, and on internal purposes, and then be able to convert that external requirement into internal product roadmap. So that is something what a B2B or an consumer product manager does. The third type is the business to business product managers. This is more like what an Oracle or a Salesforce sort of ecosystems have, where you are an internal product manager, but your job is to be able to deliver a certain result for one of your clients externally. So this is also a field where there's a lot of consultant sort of ecosystem available, where one sort of team goes and works with the client, understanding their requirement and be able to deploy a certain solution for them internally on their system. Okay, this is the third type of product management. So I think this video sort of covers you on what are the different type of product managers that is available. Like I said, the first one is internal product managers who works on solutions and softwares and system designings that is very pertaining to that specific company. The second one is the consumer product manager, like what I would say, it could be Facebook or Twitter, where they are all facing outwards. You're working with millions of customers outside the ecosystem based on the size of the company. And the third one is the business, B2B product managers, who are more like the Salesforce and the Oracles of the world, who goes and works with external clients on premise or off premise, but somebody who serves an external client with a specific team and agenda. So these are the three types of product managers available. And next video we will see something interesting on the product management topic. Stay tuned. Bye bye. Hi everyone, welcome to the next video. And I think over the last few videos we would have seen what is product management all about, who are the different type of product managers, what do they do as product management is concerned. Today we're going to look at what sort of product manager you could be, what sort of suits your nature as such. So like I said in the previous video, there are three types of product managers. There are internal product managers, there are consumer product managers, and there are B2B product managers. To start with, internal product managers. So if you're somebody who's starting up with product management, being an internal product manager is probably the best place to start with, because you get to work, you're working with a large amount of stakeholders just around you. So there's a lot more understanding around what is expected out of you, what is that user is looking for. It is easier for you to get the user feedback. It is easier for you to be able to be in line with the requirements. And also think about it, you're building a product very specific to a smaller ecosystem. This is exactly where companies build their CRM. Companies build their marketing solutions and sales automation funnels. So it's this things like these gets built down here. So you get to have a lot more time spent with the stakeholders, and the culture of the company is also so familiar with you. It will be much more efficient, and also there is no big reason for you to make a loss for the company, because it is built internally. It is not for an external audience. So there's a lot more flexibility for you to be able to sort of express yourself. So if you're somebody who's starting with product management, being an internal product manager is the best place to start with. Number two, instead of getting into the consumer facing product manager, let's go with business to business sort of product manager, because that's probably the next area to go towards. Let's say if you're somebody who has some sort of understanding into product management or has a decent experience into it, next place probably to jump would be business to business sort of product management opportunities, purely because though you are building it for an external audience, though you're building it for an external client, you're still building it for a very specific purpose internally for them. So there's a lot more room for you to be able to express yourself, and then there's a lot more room for you to be able to get the sort of queries or get the sort of feedback that you want to be able to have for that specific product. So it is easier for you to understand the customer requirement and then be able to build the things that they're looking for. You don't have to really reinvent the wheel over here, but at the same time, it's slightly more complex than the internal product managers, purely because you're not building it for your own company, you're building it for another company. So there are steep deadlines, there are certain features that has to be prioritized. So there's a lot of importance that has to be given to prioritization. There's a lot of importance that has to be given to the roadmap. So this sort of just teaches you on all those aspects of things. So yes, there's limitations on how much you could express yourself in terms of innovation is concerned, but it definitely helps you in terms of setting up the guidelines, setting up working on a specific deadline and be able to deliver it for an external audience. You're also getting to know about external audiences and probably a little more around how to be able to organize yourself in terms of delivering a certain things which you are not using it internally by yourself. So this is probably the next place to jump on as you move along in terms of the product curve is concerned. The next one that we're going to look at is the consumer-facing product managers. I think this is the most complex of the three product management roles that I was talking to you about, because now your stakeholders are completely somebody who's outside the ecosystem, which means there's a lot of things that you are assuming. There are a lot of things that you are doing a lot of market study on. There are a lot of things that you are trying to see a competitive analysis on in terms of building out your features, in terms of building out your roadmap, in terms of understanding the clients. And also there's a lot of A/B testing that has to be done. There's a lot more enterprise level discussion that has to be done in terms of understanding the requirement and prioritizing those requirements as well. So being a consumer facing or consumer facing product manager is the complex of the three product managers roles that we have, but at the same time it is the most exciting one of the three as well. So if you're somebody who is really starting fresh into product management, I would tell you to start with internal product managers and then move more towards business to business product managers and then move towards consumer facing product manager. And I think this sort of just throws a light around what are the different product managers and how they would differ based on the stakeholders and where you could be able to express yourself. In the next topic, let's see something different. Looking forward to see you on the next video. Have a great day. Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. I hope you guys are enjoying the whole series on the type of things that we had been discussing over the last few topics. And today we're going to look at the difference between a product manager and a project manager. Though they sound sort of similar, and a lot of people really find it really hard to draw the line between what a product management is and what a project management is. I think to be very fair, a product manager needs to have a certain amount of skills in project management for them to be able to deliver the final results, but it's not vice versa. But in terms of roles is concerned, in terms of the roles and responsibilities are concerned, product management and project management are completely two different set of expectations. So when you get to a product manager works based on a specific KPI or specific goal in terms of achieving a specific goal is what all a product manager looks around. I don't want to jump onto the KPI. I think I'll hold KPI back for another day for a larger discussion. But in terms of setting up a goal, it could be as simple as telling them, saying, okay, I want a specific product to be able to deliver, or I want a specific action item to be done. That is exactly what a product manager is thinking about in terms of executing a specific goal. But when it comes to project management, it is very much more a derivative of that goal, where we say a certain thing has to be done within a certain time at a certain budget. So they work around on a specific thing at a specific budget with a set of resources that is allocated for them. So it is very sort of execution driven, while being a product manager is more of strategic, it is more strategically aligned and goals driven. So being a product manager, you are working with internal and external stakeholders, you're working with customer understanding, customer resonance. You're drafting down the goal, you're being strategically aligned with what the company is doing, what the client is looking for, or what is internally looked upon. But being a project manager, you're very, very driven in terms of, I have to be able to do a certain thing within a certain sort of time limit with the given budget to me. But looking at a macro picture, being a product manager at a certain level, once you're able to deliver on the goal, once you're able to draft down the goal, you should be able to have a large amount of project management skill to be able to get you towards the execution phase of the product management is concerned. So, to putting it simple, product management and project management are two different things altogether. But being a product manager, you should be able to have a good amount of experience and good amount of understanding and execution in terms of what project management is all about. And being a project manager is also not an easy thing to do. A lot of companies have project managers who are very specifically driven at a certain point. I think I had worked in products where we have multiple project managers who take care of specific sort of deliverables within the product roadmap is plotted. So keeping it simple, a product manager is somebody who's goals driven. A project manager who is somebody who's task or execution driven. So that is exactly where we draw the line between a product manager and a project manager. Let's wait for the next video on understanding a little more around product management is concerned. Thank you. Have a good day. Hi everyone. hope everyone is liking the whole series. I think we had looked at different parts of the product management, what product management does, and things like that. But today I thought I'll speak about something slightly different, which is more around on what a day-to-day of a product manager would look like. Typically, it would vary, like I said, based on the companies you work for, based on the domain that you work for, but. But I had worked for different companies, different domains, so I'm going to give you like a vague picture about how my day-to-day would look like. So that sort of just resonate with what most of the product managers' life would look like. So generally, I'm an early bird, so just let's not think about what I do between 5 to 7 and things like that. I think, let's say a typical day starts about 9 o'clock. Generally, we start with, at least I start with going through the emails and technology news for the day. So I start my day with that. So you understand what's really happening on the domain. You understand what's really happening on the industry, and I'll also go through the emails to just see if everything is looking good or not. Especially for companies where we work across boundaries, where we have teams in India, if we have teams working in different time zones, then your emails tend to be always bounded with a lot of things that is flowing your way. So that's something to look at. So once that is done, the next thing probably I would do generally is to be able to sit out on the metrics page of the product to be able to understand if there is anything that is popping out today. Is there something that has to be looked at which haven't seen in a while? There is something not working right. There could be loading issues. There could be a certain data that is out of scope. Is there something alarming or not? So that is something that would happen between, let's say, 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock, 10 to 11. So that's exactly where I would spend my time on. Generally about 11:30 is where you tend to have the stand-up meetings across the team, where we will be able to talk about what are the things that we're working on, or what are the places we have bottlenecks. Is there places that if there are blockers that has to be sorted, that's exactly the place where we tend to bring it up, saying, okay, this is exactly what we have to work around. Once things like these gets over, then would be a day-to-day affair. Starts there. I would generally look at what are my priorities for the day, or what are the priorities that I'm working on the specific sprint. So I might just spend time on Jira, understanding what are the different tasks that is happening at this point in time. Is there are things that has to be looked at, and is there are calls to be made around that? So that's exactly what the typical first half of the day generally is, and it doesn't really change much at all. I think most of my first halves generally tend to be around this, but on the second half it is always fluctuating. There's customer meetings, there is internal team discussions. It could be vision oriented, it could be product release oriented. So there's a lot of sort of action that is happening on the second half of the day, where we tend to speak about things like what all I shared shared now. And typically we also might be able to spend the group discussions, whiteboard exercises, or orientations, and then being able to evangelize about certain things. And like I said, the customer interactions, those sort of things that sort of just dominate the second half of the day. I tend to just plot it out that way. Different product managers has different way of running their days. But that's also the reason why product management is pretty exciting, purely because there is not a typical standard fashion at which you work. There's not a typical standard in terms of your day-to-day is concerned. One day could be really strenuous, the other day it could be seriously light, purely because of the way the works are getting allocated. And there'll always be the day that you wake up with one of those emails that's going to just keep you awake the whole day. So that's something that I like and enjoy about being a product manager. So that's about it. And this is like I said, it's my typical day. It could vary based on the type of product managers you are in, and it could also vary based on the type of product management domain you took. Like I said, it could be an internal product manager, or a B2B product manager, or a consumer product manager. Based on this, your day-to-day would differ. But more or less, I feel being a customer-facing sort of product manager, this might be how a typical day would look like. And like I said, it's pretty interesting and engaging. I'll keep you posted on the next video, and let's catch up again. Have a good day. Hi everyone. I'm going to close out the first part of the series with this video. Like I said, we had looked at different parts of the product management. We had looked at different nuances around it. I think I just want to summarize the first part of the series like this: why being a product manager is awesome. There's definitely some sort of self-bias towards it, because I'm a product manager myself. But being a product manager, sort of just like I said, you just tend to work with a lot of people. You work with designers, you work with sales, marketing, you work with stakeholders, investors, customers, clients, future prospects, and it sort of just keeps you, though it sounds, a lot to take at times. It sort of just bombards around the head, saying, "Oh, I'm working around a lot of things." But looking in depth into it, you really have a lot more clarity, or you are somebody who actually sort of understands the product really well. You are somebody who understands the market really well, purely because your role requires you to do those things. Unless you understand the product and the market really well, you cannot be able to serve the clients. So that is the reason why being a product manager sort of just excites me from day one. And like I was talking to you before, being a product manager, there's no day as a typical day. You might just think, "Oh, today is a nice day," and then that's exactly the day you will open your day with a stinker from somebody. Or there could be another day where you think, "Oh, everything is set," and then things go out of hand. There is always those most days. There is always a large scope of learning and being able to experience things the first hand by being the product manager. You are somebody who knows and understands the product, or the nuances of the product, even before the product could hit the floor. Even, let's say, even if your CEO doesn't really have the first hand experience of using the product before you had actually lived up to it, or before you had actually used it and made sure it really meets the market standard. So which means you are the person who actually has the first hand information about the product and understands the product in depth more than anybody else. I think that is something that excites me the most of all the other aspects of the product. Yes, it keeps me absolutely busy at times, but I think that's the fun of being a product manager. I think the next part of the series, we're going to look at different aspects of the product. Like I was talking to you, it could be the KPIs, it could be how to be able to build your profile towards one, what are the different requirements, how to be able to interact with different set of audience, different stakeholders, different internal and external teams. Those are all the type of things that we're going to look at. And like I said, by the end of the series, we'll see we could bring some really engaging brains around product management who has been in the domain for a really long time, to be able to share their wisdom with all the audience. I'm looking forward to see you on the rest of the series. And with this video, I'm closing out the first part of the series. And if in case there are topics that you think that has missed out, that you would like me to include in the next part, or you want me to cover a little more a little more around any specific topic, or have a lot of queries, please reach out to me. I'll make sure I'll address all those queries. So till I see you the next time, have a great day. Bye bye. Hey everyone, welcome to the last video of this series. I know that covered a lot about a brief introduction on what product management is all about, what are the different types of product managers, what type of product management might suit your style of being a product manager or wishing to be one. And further down the series, we will also see a little more critical aspect of the product. What are the different metrics that we might have to really worry about? What are the different metrics that I look at on a daily basis? And what are the other parts in product management that might be appetizing and interesting to you? And like I promised, at the start of the series, I'll also see if I could bring somebody who has a lot more insights around product management, somebody who knows a lot more about product management than I do, and see if they could share their wisdom as well. So that's definitely there for another day. And further down, I'm also looking at seeing if we could have like a certain demo of a certain product and see how to actually start ideating a specific product, and the end-to-end analysis on how do we start ideating, how does a customer group session could go, and how do we start building out a feature from a group session. So those are all the different things that I ideally want to do. Let's see how to properly structure the whole series better. But thanks everyone for watching the first part of the series, which is around the introduction to product management. And stay tuned. I'll definitely be able to post the next part of the series sometime in the next couple of weeks. And please feel free to share your feedback. Please feel free to tell me certain things that you think I had missed, or certain things that you would like to also see in the course. But this is more a place where I'm trying to share what I know about product management, and how to be able to make people get into understanding with the role, and probably inspire a few people to become product managers as well. So let's see how things work out between all of us. So stay tuned for the next part of the series, probably in the next few coming weeks. Have a great day. Bye bye.